104.1 KRBE.
Let's go. Good morning.
The Rula and Ryan Show.
With Eric.
It's about to get all stupid up in here.
Hey, sleepyhead.
Featuring Special K.
Nobody asked you, Kevin.
And Sam.
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Rula.
Macaroni and cheese hot dog.
Ryan. I am the worst DJ ever. With Eric.
We're the champions of the world.
104.1 KRBE.
Good morning.
Morning, Houston, Texas. It's Tuesday, May 13th of 2025. It's 6 o'clock on the dot with the gang. Rula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam.
Hey, Eric, when I just heard the opening of the show, could you have ever imagined when you were coming out of the Astros winning that big game that would be the intro of the show?
I don't even remember doing that.
You don't remember that?
I mean, that
You
part.
don't remember that.
I mean, I just don't. I remember all the other parts. I remember the home run, hugging people, like in movies when they
of the
show,
World Series.
and they show like The Hangover. They go, and they show scenes.
Yeah.
I remember the
jump
Philly
cuts.
fan next to me being a jerk, and then she was cool, and then I was a jerk to her, and then I remember drinking, and celebrating, and going downtown. It was awesome.
And then years later,
What a
it would
time.
become part of
Who
the
knew?
show intro.
Did you say we were talking off air? You said a listener called yesterday.
Yeah, she had like a horrible Mother's
We were
Day.
doing a whole segment on that Mother's Day stuff.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Mother's Day was horrible. Me and him are newlyweds. We got married a week ago today. We have one child together, but we are like a Brady Bunch because I brought 3 into the relationship. He brought 3 in. When we got up, all he did was, the baby was crying. We have a 6-month-old. I guess he was waiting for me to get up. He finally got up, made him a bottle. I had to feed him. And then he comes in and says, "Do you want to go out to eat?" I shouldn't have to be asked if I want to go out to eat. And then he decided to, let's go to a buffet. Why do I want to go to a buffet on Mother's Day? Why do I have to go and grab my food that I want to eat? Then at the end of the day, he was like, "You look beautiful today." You could have told me this at the beginning of, when we left the house, but he told me this at the end. You didn't give me anything for no flowers, no gifts, no nothing. Am I wrong if I take back his Father's Day gift? My plan was to go for Father's Day to the baseball game. That's $400-something that I'm spending. Not only am I getting him that, I was getting him jerseys as well. It was an I don't care day, not a happy Mother's Day.
Ooh. Should she take back the Father's
I
Day
mean,
gift?
he did do stuff, though, and she's like, I felt like it still wasn't good enough for her, is what I'm reading out of that. Listen, that
Like, she's-
6-month-old wake up was a big one. If he had just done that, that would have been good for
Eat the
him.
baby, for
I
God's
agree
sakes.
with that. That probably was starting off the day a
Icing
little
on the
rough.
cake.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there was still breakfast, or the breakfast involved. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, a buffet allows you to pick whatever you want and go back as many times as you want.
Yeah, but you
whereas
should plan in advance, Kevin. You shouldn't just like in the moment, like, oh yeah, by the way, you want to go out and grab a bite to eat?
okay,
It says I
Even
don't
if it
care.
was his last minute booking, he should just say, "Oh, I planned for us to go to this Mother's Day buffet."
Yeah.
He should just pretend like he had it planned instead of saying, "I don't know, you want to go eat somewhere."
Do you also feel like the pressure of everybody else around you makes it feel like Mother's Day needs to be this magical, perfect day, where in reality, a lot of people don't make it that way?
Or they just have another regular Sunday.
My Mother's Day was super chill, and I was totally fine with that. I wasn't mad at my husband for not going out and doing all this stuff that you see on Instagram. Like, I just feel like a lot of times there's just so much.
Well, we see social media makes you
Social media makes
see
you
what other
feel
people
like,
are doing. You're
yes.
like, why aren't you doing that?
there's a lot of expectations
FOMO.
on
That's
that
There's
exactly
day
it,
a
Kevin.
lot of expectations.
in comparison to what other people have received on that day.
Plus, your friends ask you, right? Hey, what'd you do for Mother's Day?
What'd he do for
Yes.
you?
What did he do for you?
I'm
what
waiting
did
for
you
the
get?
listener line call
It's like-
to come in where the person's like, when are we going to stop trying to overdo it on Mother's Day so all these women aren't disappointed? If we just didn't try, then they wouldn't have anything to complain about. I'm waiting for that listener line complainer to call.
Well, that lady yesterday was a brat, remember?
Oh, shit. Oh,
What
you
did
missed
she
this
do?
yesterday, Sam. This lady said, we were talking about if you had a good or bad Mother's Day, and she said when she got up and she got dressed and she went out to the kitchen, her husband was coming in from taking the dog out, and he was holding the baby. And she goes, aren't you going to tell me I look beautiful? And he's like, can you give me a second? He goes, I tell you look beautiful all the time.
yeah.
I didn't have time to really look at you. And so Eric was like, I think it's a you problem. And then she goes, yeah, I am kind of a brat.
And I'm like, yes, you are.
She said, I am kind of a brat.
Really,
She
Ryan,
said
being
they
nice.
argued
I'm
about
like,
it all
what are you guys
day.
being nice for? She's even
They
admitted
argued
it.
about it all
They
day.
argued about it all day.
About how he didn't tell her
wow.
she's beautiful
It's like,
right
oh
away.
my
you know how it is when
gosh.
you got your dog, and then
Yeah.
bring them in, dogs,
Got your
and
hands
a baby.
And a baby.
And you don't have. Plus, once you say that, that's when he felt dumb. He's like, I can't say you're beautiful now.
Yeah, he goes, it feels artificial or whatever it was.
Right, like forced.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, man.
I mean, obviously, we got some poor mamas that totally got neglected. Like the one lady said, the one thing she asked her husband for, Sam, the one thing she wanted is just to not wake up with the baby. She wanted just to sleep in. He slept until 10, and she had to wake up and do breakfast for the baby.
No.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, are you mad? What's wrong? Is it wrong?"
Doesn't it
Yes,
hurt
it's
your
wrong.
feelings,
It's just
though?
one day that she would like. Yeah, I get that.
Doesn't it hurt your feelings that you feel like you mean so little when you put so much thought and effort into taking care of your family, or maybe on Father's Day you got him a great gift and all he had to do was to show that he cared somewhat and didn't do anything.
Doesn't have to be something
then-
expensive.
And then,
Right.
yeah. Also, yesterday, Sam was out yesterday, and 6 o'clockers. If you missed this at 7, you can find it on podcast. When we originally tried to do the topic of like, oh, tell us about your Mother's Day.
Yes.
This lady had texted, and Eric called her, and it was her and her sister-in-law. So the brothers are married to these two women.
Okay.
And both of them are hated by the mother-in-law commonly. So they bond over the hate. And they decided together, we're not doing a big gift for the mother-in-law. We're just going to give her like homemade cards from the kids. And on Sunday, Rosa's kids gave the mom like construction paper cards, and Nancy's family presented the mother-in-law with a 5-day cruise out of Galveston. And she got totally bamboozled.
Upstaged.
Like, damn you. I cannot believe you. Now I'm really on the outs. And then Nancy's like, listen, I got to do what I got to do. I see her more than you. I need to be on her good side. You don't see her as much as I do. And it was just really something else. I was like, wow.
Holy crap.
That's
If you
crazy.
talk about it, you can't.
Yeah.
Like-
and then she's like, well, we didn't want to go in on it with you because, we make more money than you. So we didn't want to ask you. to do
That's a
something
double
weird."
whammy. She insulted her
Good
sister-in-law
Lord.
saying that you're poor.
And then she's like, well, you could ask me. No, because then you'd be like obligated. And then you'd be mad you had to spend money you didn't want to spend. It was just this whole thing. It
And
was
then
a lot of
afterwards,
pressure.
Kevin, I got so many DMs. I know. Did you get a lot, Kev? Hey, what about cruises? Which one do you recommend?
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, why not
You
become
guys
a-
are the cruise directors of the show.
You are.
Who's more
I'm a Carnival
well-versed?
and Royal Caribbean. Give me a.
That's
Any
awesome.
go here.
Do you think Eric or Kevin, which one is the better cruiser?
I feel like you guys are equal. Can y'all
I've
tell us
been-
how many cruises each y'all have been on?
I don't even lost track.
Lost
I do more
track.
of a, like with the kids and stuff.
The
and
family.
Yeah. Kev's is more
I'm
like
around
it's-
15 or 16 now.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Like in your whole life, even in your childhood.
Yeah. So that's a long
I've gone
stretch of
from
time.
1981 to 2025.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
When I was like
How
3
many is
years
that?
old.
So like 20 cruises?
Probably.
Wow. Always to the same places?
No.
Like Mexico, Mexico, Mexico,
When I
Mexico?
lived in Illinois, we'd go to Florida
Okay.
and go out
Okay.
a lot.
Have either
Caribbean.
I've
of
been to
you
Florida like 4 times.
Have you ever
Or 6
done
times.
a northern cruise where you're up in the like Alaska, the snow?
I
And
hear
ice?
it's great, but I haven't done it.
I also hear
have
it's
not
great,
done-
but I'm not interested in going to see floating ice cubes.
You want to be in
I
a
know.
tropical setting.
Yeah,
Kevin's if he's going to be cold, he'd rather go skiing.
exactly.
My sister's done the Ice Cube.
Everyone
cruise,
loves
and
it.
She said it's glorious. I mean, the views are amazing.
I'm
You
sure it
can't
is,
use the
but-
pool though, really, unless they can enclose it in some way.
Why
and
don't they
some
heat the
ships they do.
pools?
Then it would be a big hot tub.
Some of the
Yeah, they already
some
have
of the-
those hot tubs around.
Well, think about it. In like mountain resorts, like ski areas, there's people go ski and then they're freezing cold in the snow and they go to the hot tub.
They
That's
have
true.
Why is
hot
it different on the
springs,
cruise?
too.
They do definitely have hot tubs on the ships. Now, I sometimes in the past the pool water has been pulled in from the ocean,
Yeah,
so
I think
it's
they got
salty.
better, right?
Yeah, I think
really?
they've changed it since
I think the
then.
system. Think about it.
Heavy.
It's on that sea air. They got to
Yeah.
start putting the heater in there. That's more problems could happen, I guess.
And the
Yeah.
wind from the boat.
Oh, I didn't think of
Think
that.
about having a house in a Galveston, your stuff rusts and gets
Yeah.
eaten away, eroded.
Kev, remember that show I watched, whether it was on Amazon or Netflix? I can't remember. Like, it came in, I told you about. It's like the behind the scenes of how the cruise ship runs.
There's a city behind the city.
Yeah, it was really amazing. It shows you the whole turnaround of how they get 21 or like 6,000 people off the ship to get 6,000 people on the ship in like 2 hours or something.
Yep.
Even on that, as deep dive as they did with the trash and the food and the waste and all this stuff, I don't remember them saying anything about how they filter the pool water from the ocean.
They would have just pretty much you don't suck it. I'm sorry, you don't filter it when you suck it in. Really, I mean it's just natural ocean water is what they used to do.
And now they got those purifier big things. They can bring water in and purify it.
Yeah, they can make drinkable water from seawater, but it takes a lot of energy to do that.
How much are these ships? $2 billion?
They're
Oh,
$1 billion
gosh.
ships now. A lot of them.
I
sure.
checked out the Instagram link.
I don't
Kevin,
even know how they make money.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of overhead, but Kevin, you sent me a page where it's like all the decommissioned ships and how they, what they do with them when they're done. I watched a video of them tearing apart the original Love Boat because there was a TV show in the 70s and
Pacific
80s.
Princess.
Pacific Princess, and it showed them like when they decommission these ships, what they do. It's really
They
fascinating.
even do where they cut it in half.
And
stretch out,
widen them.
Then they add more into it.
Really?
They do?
I saw a video yesterday.
Cut it right in half and then shove in a new section and
Are you
then weld
kidding
it
me?
back
I
together.
think it's
Yes.
cheaper to just to build.
Than to build a
Than
whole
to build
new
a whole
ship.
If you can go down a rabbit hole of this and you can Google
It's like the
ship,
Texans.
ship extensions.
Want to take NRG to see that new photo? Yesterday, they did a mock-up of what they could do for $1 billion.
Oh, they're going to enlarge it?
Yeah. If you go to, was it Cron? No.
It is almost 20 years old.
KHU had a photo of what it looks like.
But what Ryan is talking about, where they decommission these ships, all they do a lot of times is they run the ship aground in Turkey at full speed. It's so
Really?
cool.
And it goes
It's
on
so
its
cool to
side.
see. Yeah, it's like here comes a ship. Oh God, is it coming on land? Yes,
Like
all the
Speed
way
2?
up on. Yes,
Yeah.
it's so cool. And then it just stops there. And then when it gets to low tide, these cranes come out and beat it up and take all the steel down out of it and take it apart.
I see make it paintball.
Make it
Make it a
paintball, or you paintball around
It'd be a
these
little
old
dangerous
ships.
stuff to just sit there and they didn't maintain.
How cool that'd
They'd
be.
have to
Go
maintain
to each
it.
floor,
Yeah.
you're fighting around. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's crazy. Sometimes things like that overwhelm me. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like if you see things like that abandoned, they were so
I love
big.
abandoned buildings and things like that.
Like malls that are empty. It's all creepy, or amusement parks.
Some
or
kids went to River Oaks. They went to some mansion that was abandoned.
abandoned.
Oh, they did.
Somehow I'm on one of those algorithms.
It's like one of those guys that went to the Astrodome that one year during
Yeah.
the rodeo.
Uh-huh.
They went to the suites.
Yep.
So crazy
It
how
is.
they
I
got in
find
there.
that stuff fascinating. It's like in Breaking Bad, Heisenberg's house. Remember when it was empty at the end of the series?
Oh, yeah.
Like the
Skateboarding.
skateboarders in the empty pool and stuff like that. I find that stuff fascinating. But
One of our texters says they're doing their first Alaska cruise this summer. Super excited. They'll let us know how it goes.
Supposed to be really nice.
Oh, that's Emily.
Oh,
Emily from Japan, who gave us our
Emily.
Try Tuesday.
Bring us some food from Alaska. Some
still-
blubber to eat.
No, leave that poor girl alone. They keep asking
fine.
her for everything.
Emily Minish. You're
from start to finish, you can't beat a minish.
Minish. Okay, today on the show, we continue on with the secret sound. Yesterday, Sam, it was crazy.
Is it a hot mess?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, the
it
first one we
was.
had.
She was the worst.
It was the first sound
contestant.
we had. I guess she just got nerves because we were like, what's the answer? And let's reenact. Okay, so what do you think the secret sound is?
No.
Silence.
Yeah.
Silence.
Didn't have a guess.
Silence. Eric even goes, okay, 3, 2, 1. What's the sound? And then she goes, silence.
Yeah.
It
Silence.
was awful.
And then we're like, okay, just say anything.
Say
Just
something.
say anything. And then she goes, knife. And then we go, what about a knife? And then she goes, drone. Like
Drone.
I think she said drawer.
maybe drawer. I don't know. It was
Her
kind of
accent.
like up and down. So we
Goodness.
just kind of were like, okay, no.
just didn't know.
And then the
Yeah.
second winner, Kevin got it. And Kevin, what was that sound?
That was a
Utensil.
yes. I was
Falling
like,
on the
wait, I'm
floor.
afraid to say because what if I say what's on right now? I get
It
confused.
was a silverware utensil falling
I
on the
did
floor
that.
or the counter, and Kevin's the one that recorded it.
Yeah, this one, drop silverware.
Yeah, all
on
she had
the
to say
floor.
was knife dropping on the floor.
That's all she had to say.
anything.
Because I
She would've
said,
won.
what's the knife
Oh,
doing?
man.
It's just sitting there. And she's like, we were almost there. Anyway, it's okay. So it went for $208 with the second
So
person.
the next one is $416, and we've had 3 previous guesses, and I can tell you about that in Scoop.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's do that.
All righty.
Here's your weather for today.
Gonna be hot. It's gonna be sunshine. Looks like a mid 90s right now. 72 degrees. 6:13 on the Roll and Ryan Show with Eric.
Hollywood to H-Town.
Celebrity Scoop on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taquerias Arandas to give you an update on the secret sound, which happens 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 5 times a day. You text the word secret to 37530, and we'll send you the times that we're going to play every day, or just go to krbe.com. The whole thing is listed right there. The jackpot is at $416. Every time there's a wrong guess, we add another $104. Hey, Sam, because we're not in the 7 o'clock yet, can we hear that sound real quick?
Yeah.
Let's hear the sound.
Here we go.
All righty.
Oh, my God. One more
Do that
time.
again.
What are the wrong guesses?
The wrong guess is it's not a vacuum cleaner, electric pencil sharpener, and it's not a paper shredder.
Okay. That makes sense. A paper shredder. I would guess that.
Yeah,
That's what I
that
thought it
sounds
was.
like
So
It's always a vacuum.
$416.
Everyone thinks it's a vacuum.
They don't do that around here.
You ever need a bag for your vacuum?
Well, everybody's doing that sound. We can't find it.
Oh my God!
I mean, look at the carpet. It certainly isn't a vacuum
They don't
cleaner.
come in here for
Nope.
vacuums. Okay, also, Air Innovations is celebrating their 20th anniversary. Air Innovations Heating and Cooling, so they are giving you an HVAC tune-up opportunity. This is courtesy of Air Innovations Heating and Cooling, celebrating their 20th anniversary. You can visit airinnovationsllc.com because your comfort matters. And we'll do this real quick. If you're caller 10, you'll score an HVAC tune-up. You might think, oh, I need to tune that up. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
you'll
give it to you
notice
for
the
free.
difference. It's a really good service.
833-390-KRBE. Also want to remind you guys, if you go to krbe.com, this coming Saturday at 11 a.m., we're going to be doing our Raw Feed on the road. We call it the Raw Feed Road Show. Now, the Raw Feed is the podcast after the show. It's a show after the show that doesn't air on KRBE proper. We call it the Raw Feed because you never know which wacky direction it's going to go. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be as wacky as it is when we're by ourselves here because when we go on location, there are kids around.
Well, it could be wacky, just not raunchy.
Not raunchy. Yeah.
But yes, it is open to everybody. It is free. It is happening at 11 a.m. at the Lagoon Fest property, but not at Lagoon Fest. It's on the back at the Blue Lagoon Bar and Grill. It is free to get into that to watch us do the Raw Feed on the road. Afterwards, if you're one of the 104 people that show up first, you get tickets to access Lagoon Fest so you can have fun.
Yeah. Cool stuff, cool down. It's supposed to be what? 97 degrees?
Yeah, it's going
tomorrow?
to be a hot one.
It's going to be so hot.
It's gonna be
I'm
hot.
still trying to enjoy all the glory. Like
Yeah.
yesterday's weather was so great.
Yesterday was amazing.
No, it was.
Well, enjoy it. Remember it. Put it in your
I know.
memory
Data
bank.
storage.
Yeah, nice and cool. It's
Remember
been.
that one
And
time?
wait till October.
That one
Yeah.
time. So we hope to see you on Saturday, 11 o'clock at the Raw Feed Roadshow live at Blue Lagoon Bar and Grill. Okay, pop culture moments that have not aged well.
Okay. Didn't stand the test of time.
Now, this one, I feel like it shouldn't be on the list because even though it was cringe when it happened, everybody recognized it. Everyone knows this moment depending on your age. The Tom Cruise couch jumping on the Oprah Winfrey show.
Yeah. I remember
It was
that.
cringe, but I feel like it aged well because people remember it still.
I'm in love
if
with
you
Katie
were
Holmes.
old enough.
I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm not gay. Go see my new movie. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm not gay.
That's where Family Guy
I don't know.
took advantage
Maybe
of
he's
that
just
moment.
bi because he gets the hottest women.
He does.
He's got that ballerina girl.
Yeah. Well,
What's her
his
name?
Scientologist
we learned about the
canceled.
Scientology
They
angle.
set him up.
Yeah.
But
that's what
maybe,
we learned.
They broke her.
But she has that movie coming out. So
Yeah, it's all about press.
he's got his movie coming out. And he's coming to Dallas. So, Tom, you suck.
Because they have a film
I just saw
officer.
a thing yesterday. He goes, all right, I'm going to be hitting some theaters in the next couple of weeks. I'll be in Austin and Dallas.
I've seen the photos.
he always
He's
goes
on
to Dallas.
top of the theater, literally.
Yeah, he likes to do those daredevilish things.
That's where I met him in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He's
So-
in the middle of the sky.
And that was, 20 years ago is where he announced his romance with Katie Holmes. And she was backstage at the Oprah show. And he was like all giddy and laughing with Oprah about how in love he is. And he was jumping on the couch about how in love he is. And everyone's like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
Okay, other pop culture moments that did not age well. And y'all might remember this as I didn't see Fantastic Four. It says Jessica Alba in her underwear for no reason in Fantastic Four.
Well,
I'm sure I enjoyed it.
she's supposed to be Invisible Girl. That was her character. So I guess she was like, I don't even remember the scene.
Yeah, it says it didn't age well. Okay, how about this one? I think this aged
Was
well.
this the woke world?
This is the next one. I think this
Probably.
aged well because to me, to hear it didn't age well means you forgot about it or it was cringe and it's like, oh God, make it go away. But this, I think, lasts forever in pop culture. The Team Aniston, Team Jolie, conversation about Brad Pitt leaving Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie. Somebody actually made merchandise.
They did.
Like you could buy T-shirts
Yeah,
that
that
said
was-
Team Aniston, Team Jolie.
That was pop culture.
Yeah, I don't know why that's on the list of didn't age well.
This is just somebody.
People are sensitive.
Somebody wrote down a list. And
Someone's feelings were hurt in that breakup.
I feel like this is
Rula.
somebody in the
That
in
was
the woods
not
in
okay.
Yeah, that
Oregon.
was
They're
definitely
in
There's no
Portland.
focus group or big research panel
Now,
that came up with
this
this.
one definitely belongs on the list,
Hemp pants.
especially for today's environment because Diddy's trial just started. Diddy hosting the 2005 VMAs and having Nicole Richie and Derek Jeter talk about his legendary parties. Ugh, cringe factor now.
now,
That
that
could
we
be
know
bad.
it, now that we know what happened,
Yeah, terrible. And then this one I don't remember. Remember I was telling y'all how I saw Desperate Housewives on Amazon and I was trying to go through it to remember things that happened. The tampering of Gabrielle's birth control by her husband on Desperate Housewives. I don't remember that part happening. I remember Gabrielle having an affair with a teenager who was the gardener.
he wanted
who was
to have
the
a
lawn
baby.
boy. Yeah, he
And
wanted
he
to have a
subbed out
baby,
the
I guess.
pills?
He did that, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the big standouts of that series to me.
It's called a soap opera.
And wouldn't
Exactly
you
right.
They
recognize,
do
like,
stupid stuff every day on those shows.
I mean,
Yeah.
y'all take birth control. I'm sure you have at some point. You would notice if the pill looked different when you opened it up, wouldn't you?
No, because the whole point is he changed them to placebos that looked exactly the same. He changed the pill pack.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
fake
So
one.
the whole pill pack was
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
non-active.
That would be really hard to do.
Yeah.
That's
Have
what
to
I'm
change
saying.
The whole thing.
Hey, can you give me a pill that looks like the birth control pill when he's buying them?
I'm sure there's something. Anybody remember the reality show The Will? It was a millionaire who had 10 of his loved ones competing to inherit his large Kansas ranch.
No,
That
I
had to be
don't.
Fox. That had to be a Fox one.
That's no farmer.
Oh, yeah. What's that farmer one you're watching,
Oh
Sam?
my gosh, Farmer Wants a Wife.
Okay.
It's
Is that
on
Netflix?
Fox.
Oh,
It's
is it on Fox?
It's on Fox.
Which made me laugh, but I didn't want to take over your story. And
Was
then
that
I watch it on Hulu. I've caught up on Hulu.
As soon as I saw Hulu with that, I'm like, I grew up a farmer. I have no desire to watch this. I bet Sam watched it.
So is this girls coming in from other areas to marry a farmer, or these
Yes.
are local girls? Like,
No.
okay, well, at least
So
you
are
know
they
what you're
like
getting.
Party girls,
They're
glammed up, and
like
then they
none
come to
of
the
them
farm?
are. None of the girls are legit farmers. They
So that
all
means this
have
is definitely not
different-
going to last.
They all have different jobs, and there's 4 farmers.
Okay.
and then they start off with having 8 girls each at this
Wow.
big ranch.
Like
in
they're the
middle.
bachelor farmers,
Yes.
and each farmer has 8 girls.
And then
to
by
choose
the end
from.
of the first night, they have to eliminate down to 5. And then
do they get
those-
roses or corn
No,
stalks? What do they
just-
get?
They don't get anything.
Corn cob?
They
Here's
don't
a
get
corn
anything.
cob.
You just say their name. They give you a
Okay.
hug. They come, whatever.
Okay.
And then
Pitchfork, you've been forked.
after they get the 5 girls, they go back to each of the guys' farms.
Okay.
And you legit see how they live.
Okay, so you can say this is not.
And what
for
do
me.
these guys look like? 'Cause-
They're all really hot.
yeah.
course they are.
They're very good looking because that's what my husband said. He goes, "What in the hell are you watching?" And I was like, "Just
Farmer
farmers,
Wants a
babe.
Wife.
I don't know what
I
you're
remember
talking
when
about."
Farmer Wants
I
a
think
Wife.
I watched an episode last
grizzly
night.
white beard.
When my
and
dad died,
And he
overalls.
hated it.
I remember
he
the
absolutely
farmers.
hated it. So I have to
Some
watch
farmers
when
wore
he's not around.
bibs.
The bibs,
Yeah.
yeah.
They wore
No,
bibs to my
these
dad's
guys
funeral,
are-
like to pay their respects. That come. I'm like,
Couldn't even dress
I
up.
couldn't even wear
A shirt?
church pants.
Yeah.
Something
This show is really fun. I'm
They do, like,
embarrassed that I really like it.
contests or anything? Do they do like
challenges or
hail?
romantic
bales of hay?
excursions like The
Not
Bachelor?
really, not really. They actually show them working on the farm though, but it's very like pick up the barrel or like
The bale of hay.
the bale of hay or like feed the chickens or some of them have like it's that kind of stuff. It's not anything
Yeah.
like real.
They're not running a
Okay,
tractor.
hold
That
on.
out on a
Breaking news,
combine
Sam.
or something.
Yeah.
Breaking news, Sam.
Uh-oh, what?
According to Entertainment Weekly, it says here that this show, when it comes to reality TV, and I quote, Farmer Wants a Wife has proven to have one of the highest success rates for actually finding true love.
I'm not surprised.
This series has led to 11 marriages,
Whoa.
numerous long-term relationships, 27 babies and counting.
Whoa.
What? It's been on that long?
I didn't
It's
think
been
it
a while.
As a franchise?
Never even heard of it.
Same.
Yeah,
Never heard of it.
I think there's
That's
3
new.
seasons you can watch on Hulu. I could be wrong, and I'm just watching the most recent, like the one that's airing right now, just so that I'm.
Are these
on top of it.
ranchers or farmers?
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
know what
Like
the
a-
difference is.
Well, I mean, are they like
They're all called
are they
farmers.
agriculture like with
It's
that,
a combination.
or are they with
like one's
animals?
like one's with animals. The other one has like an avocado farm in California. I was like, I'd marry him just for that
Farmer
lifestyle.
Corey.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
for that land.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit of both.
They don't got. They have a guy
But
from
like
Iowa
one's
or
from
Illinois.
Alabama, one's from
Alabama.
Missouri, I
Alabama.
think. One's from California, and I forget where the other guy's
So
from.
it's Farmer Thomas, Farmer Corey,
Yeah.
Farmer Tom.
No Ted.
So it's not like The
And
Bachelor
the
with
other
just
one.
focusing on one farmer. It's multiple farmers.
It's
per
4
season.
farmers, and they all have girls that are living at their house. And then, yeah, I'm only on episode 5, and I think there's.
Does this mean
8
you're done with the
episodes.
rookie?
And Farmer Gerard.
Yeah, I've caught up to Ricky. I have to watch it now when it releases onto Hulu.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
judge me, y'all.
How are they
Farmer
rookies
wants a
after
wife.
10
I
years?
like this show. If you're bored, watch an episode. Just watch one episode, and then you can DM me, Slam Give It, and let me know if you like it because I'm kind of hooked.
Farmer
Really?
wants a
Yes,
wife.
I really like it. And then I'm like, these girls dress so cute. They dress like little cowgirls. I'm like, I could get some outfit inspiration.
My wife and I watched that show that Ryan told me to watch with John Hamm. On
Oh
Apple.
yeah,
What's
First
What's it
episode.
called?
Oh, I don't
Your
have
Friends and
Apple.
Neighbors.
It's really good.
Is it?
I want
so
to do a
good.
topic about because basically he gets fired.
Okay.
But I just started thinking, is there anyone listening? Someday I want to do it, maybe tomorrow. Anybody listening who got fired and they admit that they
They should have been fired.
should have been
Yeah.
fired because everyone has a reason. Like they make sure that oh, this guy shouldn't have been fired.
Yeah,
type
I was
stuff.
incompetent.
Yeah,
I
nobody-
deserved it.
I've never met anybody in my life that's ever said they got fired and they deserve to be fired.
Like, yeah, I was messing around.
There's got to be one person out there that would admit that they.
Well, we have definitely had people admit that they're doing a job they have no idea how to do. We've had that.
Yeah. So maybe tomorrow we can do anybody.
Like, who's
listening.
working right now? A job you have no idea what you're doing. You're just pushing papers around and saying, yeah, sounds good.
Yep,
Sounds
I
good.
concur. There's a story. Reminds me of our first revenge, where the guy.
The baseball cards.
The one in the office, where the guy put stuff in his food, and the guy got diarrhea.
Okay.
Because there's a story out of where this guy had an allergic reaction. He stole his roommate's cake and got sick, and now he's suing his roommate because he had to go to the hospital.
But you stole it.
Exactly. You. That's my cake. It was in my fridge, and you ate it. And now
It's
you're
a shared
suing me.
fridge, Eric. We both have access to that fridge.
I'm like,
If it was going to make me sick, you should have warned me.
We'll talk
with
about this a
Post-it
little
note.
bit. And then it reminds me of Rula talking about why they always have to lock
The trash dumpsters.
Dumpsters at restaurants.
Do y'all know why? Well, you'll find out next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
From the Bell Furniture Unbeatable Prices Traffic Desk.
104.1. Back to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Just real quick, I want to make a mention on text to how you guys are full of information at 37530. We're talking about different TV shows like Farmer Wants a Wife. Eric on Friday was talking about The Four Seasons with Tina Fey. It's a remake of a Carol Burnett, Alan Alda movie.
A movie
About couples and, all coming together on a vacation and different stages of life. And one guy has a new girlfriend. And
It's basically, I say it's 40 and up will enjoy it. But if you've been in a marriage for a long time and your mate's watching it without you, I'm just saying.
Give them bad ideas.
Be careful.
Okay.
So they might get plans in their head, or they might think about your own marriage.
Right, and they'll divorce you.
So, I mean, just be careful.
So our
Watch it
texter
with
says,
them.
we're talking about that 4-season series on Netflix last week. So I started watching it. In case y'all didn't know, the girl that plays Tina Fey's daughter graduated from Cy Woods High School. She is friends with my son. That is so cool.
That's awesome.
There's a local girl on that show. That's fun. And then somebody said, Sam, a love farmer wants a wife. Wait, where's the one? Been in different countries. There was a show. Where's the one about farmer wants a wife for you? Not about the avocado guy. Something else. I don't know.
Not the
I was going to read something else, but I can't remember. Anyway, so go ahead. Tell us, Eric, about...
Now, this thing went viral on social media. The guy in his 20s, he was asking for advice because his roommate stole a piece of his cake that he made, and the guy stole from his fridge. They had their own fridge.
Okay, that's interesting. They each had their own fridge in the apartment.
And the problem is the guy is allergic to whatever was in that cake. 911 was called. They had to do the EpiPen, saved his life.
Oh, wow.
Now he's got a bill. Did you get a bill?
Sure, it's expensive.
911, ambulance comes,
yeah.
you're going to pay. And he wants his roommate to pay for it. So he's asking, should I mean, we were friends before this. Now it's like we're not even
You're
friends.
not going to be friends if you ask them to pay for that. First of all,
You didn't
stole.
ask to eat the cake. You didn't say, hey, can I have some cake? And he would tell you, oh, there's nuts and kiwi in this. You're allergic to both or whatever.
That's my biggest fear. My daughter's has
got a
EpiPen
nut
and stuff. Yeah.
allergy.
And she's, goes to college in 2 years. So I'm just worried about that.
Will she carry a pen with her at all times?
She doesn't carry it around as much, but she doesn't really eat. Like, she's really...
It might be a
but
good
she might
idea
come
for her
across
to
I always
have
tell her,
that in her
carry a
purse.
She doesn't carry a purse. I'm like, you have to have that thing with you just in case.
Absolutely, in her car.
Because if you don't know people, you go to their house.
Can't keep it in the car because it gets too hot. I think it alters
You
it.
should never have any kind of drugs in the car. It
terrifying
changes
now.
the chemical composition because of the heat.
There's some new program where you can go and they can, you'll never be not allergic, but they can make it so it's not fatal.
Okay.
Right, that happened to one of my friends.
Oh,
Her
that'd be
son
nice.
had almost such a serious nut allergy that they couldn't even fly on airplanes because if somebody on the airplane on their own had a snack with peanuts and it was just in the air, he would go into anaphylactic shock. So they couldn't even travel. So they've been doing this study for 8 years where they're weaning nuts into his environment so he can just not kill him if he's in
That's
the area of the
terrifying.
smell of peanut butter.
That's what my
Not
allergy
that bad.
drops do.
Is that
They-
right?
Yeah,
No.
they crush up all the stuff into a little, droplet, and then
So
you
you-
ingest it.
You build a tolerance.
Yeah, you build a tolerance.
Interesting.
So my daughter's about to work at a place called Mamacable. Mamacable? I'm not even got it right.
I don't know what
Name
that
it.
is.
They make those bowls.
Acai
and-
bowls.
acai bowl.
Ooh, they're
Okay, so-
good.
but there's not. I saw some of them there's a lot of
Smoothies.
peanut butter and stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Be careful.
Oh,
when
she's
she's
She
working
can
on it.
handle it. She
Yeah.
just can't eat it,
Yeah, I
right?
just can't eat it.
Oh,
Okay, and to
But
Eric's point, we were
I don't
talking.
know.
and chocolate syrup.
I've never
too.
seen her around a vat of peanut butter. I don't know.
Right.
Makes me go, oh crap! I hope nothing.
Take your pen with
Keep
you.
that
Old
pen
enough
with you
though
at all
now. I mean,
times.
your daughter's 16, 15,
almost
16.
17.
Okay, so I mean, she's old enough now to have her wits about her to keep it, on alert. And to Eric's point about the stealing of the food, he said this is why, the trash cans are locked up. If you've ever been to a fast food drive-thru or any restaurant parking lot you've parked in, you see these giant metal gates around the dumpster. The reason the giant metal gates around the dumpster exist is because years ago, a homeless person went into a restaurant trash hole, ate the trash food, got sick, and sued the restaurant for the garbage that made him
That's
sick.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they said, well, you didn't make any efforts to lock up the garbage.
You shouldn't have to. You should not have to.
And speaking of garbage, I told you guys
I
was watching that show that Rula loves, that the food that built America.
Oh my God, I love it. The men that built America, the food that built America. It's an amazing series on
1
history.
minute I go, let me see what this is.
And you got suckered in, didn't you?
I just watched 2 minutes.
Okay.
And the premise?
Heinz ketchup.
Oh.
The Heinz guy.
Yeah.
The reason they made ketchup was to cover the spoiled meat. It would take away the
taste,
the flavor. Because it had vinegar in it and sugar.
Spices.
Did that kill the bacteria of the spoiled
I think it's
meat?
more about just masking the meat taste.
Yeah.
That is so foul. Now I'm not going to think of ketchup the same.
But he also brought
And
a
my
lot of.
son eats ketchup packets.
He
He's
also-
like
Oh my
Big
God,
Daddy.
that's a food group for children.
Ugh.
Ketchup.
But I think the
God.
only thing I put ketchup on is like French fries.
No, this kid wants ketchup for everything.
Oh,
if I
yeah.
give him fruit, he's like, ketchup, ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Food
Santi,
group for
you're not getting
children.
freaking ketchup with your fruit,
That's all they care
weirdo.
about.
So sugary.
But the Heinz guy pushed for like people to have rules about
Like,
food
enjoy
and stuff.
it. Yeah.
So he was,
Okay.
he did that on purpose so he'd screw over the other people so they'd get fired or lose their jobs. Or
Who was
the
his
company.
competitor at the time?
I can't
Did it
remember.
say?
Hunts?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Back then.
We did that ketchup.
Spoiled meat, 'cause think about 1800s, they didn't have their fridge.
That's true.
I think that series is on Netflix. If you want to look it up, the food that
Food
built
that
America.
built
or
America.
It is pretty
whatever.
cool.
It's pretty fantastic when you find out like how do we get M&Ms, how do we get the Milky Way bars, how do we get Kentucky Fried Chicken, how did
See,
Taco
those
Bell
are the
happen,
kind of
Dunkin'
shows-
Donuts.
Fear.
Those are the kind of shows
Fear,
you
right.
need as a palate cleanser. Say, you and your significant other, it's great sitting on the couch together and you finish, you binge a show, and then it's over. And like, what do we do now?
But
You don't want to
scary.
go right back into
Because
the
they've
same
made-
genre.
they've
You do the palate cleanser.
Yeah,
you
and
do
it's a
the little
fictional
documentary.
story. It's not just like real sterile. Like here's this guy. They've reenacted the story like you're watching
I feel like
a series.
I can't watch it at nighttime. I feel like it's a daytime show on a weekend.
Yeah, it's usually running on our
Is that
house
worthy
on
of
the
my
weekend.
8 o'clock?
This is a Sunday hangover
Having
show.
some wine and popcorn or something. I'm not watching that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
what's going down in H-Town?
104.1 KRBE.
Okay, for years on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric, we have done the Star Test song. Special K composed those. Well, the Star Test might be going away. The Texas House voted almost unanimously yesterday to scrap STAR testing in favor of a series of shorter exams that public school students would take throughout the year. So the House must give the final sign-off on Tuesday before the proposal heads to the Texas Senate. It calls for doing away with the lengthy end-of-year exams in favor of 3 much shorter tests that are given at the beginning, the middle, and the end of each school year. The results would still be used to rate the school districts on an A through F scale.
Kevin's got to change your song. Mini song. Mini tests.
Yeah, what would
that'd
that
be-
be?
It's been
Mini
called
test?
STAR for a long time. It used to be called TAX.
Yeah, I
The
remember that.
TASP. Yeah, the TASP test, the tax test. Then it became the STAR, and it's held on to that title for a long time.
But the thing is that these tests do nothing to help the students. This is basically, it's to rate the schools, and they get a grade A through F. So, and it's politics basically. But I mean, they're going to probably do 3 now instead of just 1.
Now people are just texting gross things.
Oh,
Gross
Sam,
things? Oh, about
somebody's
the
son
food?
dips animal crackers in ketchup.
Yeah.
Try it Tuesday.
No.
That should be a test if your kid's going to be a serial killer, Dexter, in the future.
Right.
Oh, God.
No, the
Gosh.
test would be if they didn't want all that ketchup because it's so common to want the ketchup.
Oh, the
If your
sugar in
kid's
it?
anti-ketchup,
It's
they're
the
gonna
sugar,
be the serial
Eric.
killer.
You nailed it right there. It's the sugar, and your palate changes
I do
too.
a really low sugar in my house for ketchup.
You could do.
You know, I'm like a
simple ketchup.
granola mom.
Like, which
I
one
do
ketchup
like
do you do?
healthy. It's I'll look during commercial. It's like I
She
think
just squeezes tomatoes into Santiago's hands, and then he licks it, all the juices.
Puts a Splenda over the tomato.
he has such clammy hands; it would just like stick
and
in
the
it.
worst smell is ketchup that is sat out on a plate. Is the
that's so
stinkiest
rude right
thing.
now.
It's
I'm
partially
ruined.
dried, and it's like
It
coagulated.
smells so
Like
bad.
yesterday, he wanted eggs, and then of course he wanted ketchup with it.
I don't
and
mind
was like,
scrambled eggs with ketchup.
Yeah.
No, I don't mind
done
that
that.
either, but
Salsa's
he
better.
always gets the eggs stuck in the ketchup, and then he's like throwing his fork at me to like help him, and then he like
Dollops of
it's
that goes
yes,
flying across the room.
Yes, it's
dried
awful.
ketchup on the wall is disgusting.
You're all dirty.
Have you
What's up,
brought
nerd?
mustard into his diet yet?
No, he doesn't like mustard
Kids
yet.
don't like
Kids
mustard.
aren't into mustard.
Not yet.
I didn't like mustard till I was like 10.
He does like queso though.
Oh,
It's not
hell
reasonable.
yeah. Who doesn't like melted cheese and all that delicious golden glory? Hello.
Yeah.
Ketchup.
All right, coming up next, it is time for revenge. That's where you contact us because somebody messed with you and you got them back, but they don't know you got them back, and we don't even know how you got them back until you tell us all together.
Eric, you did mention this is a neighbor dispute.
Neighbors.
Oh, those are the nastiest.
You stole my cake and I got sick. I'm going to sue you now. Okay, we'll get to the revenge next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.